whatever time it is where you are right now. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Drawings to Doze Off To for the sleep deprived, and right now I want you to take a deep breath, lay back, loosen up, just completely untense your body and prepare to be at peace. Today I'm working on my official 2019 self-portrait. Yes, this drawing is a throwback. It's from last year, but that's okay. I realized that this would be a good piece to talk to you guys about, and it's one of my favorite pieces from last year. I mean, most of the things that I created last year I hold very, very close to my heart. 2019 was just a good year creatively for me. I think I may have only created maybe 2 or 3 pieces that I could live without. But everything else I just feel like I was instantly in love with, and I was really, really proud of the results. So this is definitely one of those pieces. I try to draw like a legit self-portrait at least once a year. I know that I reference my own photos for most of my pieces, and technically I do draw my face over and over again, but I'm always attempting to take my face and turn it into someone else, and I think I may just not be that good at it because I can never really follow through. But these official self-portraits are completely intentional. They are meant to be me. They have my characteristics, and they embody who I am as a person, whereas all of the other pieces do not. So yeah, this is 2019 self-portrait. The plan for it was that I wanted it to look very soft, and I wanted it to kind of look ethereal. I referenced a photo that I actually took with a Snapchat filter on that I felt made me look really kind of angelic, and it also had a soft, bright look to it, and it gave me this little flower wreath that I have on my head. So yeah, that came directly from Snapchat, and I was wearing one of my favorite colors, the kind of rose pink color that I think looks really pretty against my skin, and the powder blue background actually came from the backdrop that I had taped up on my wall, and that's where I took the photo in front of, and all of these colors together just looked so perfect to me. I knew instantly after I took that photo that I wanted it to be my self-portrait. So yeah, working on the background right now, obviously, and then I'm gonna get into this face. So everybody, please, if you're watching this, Let me know in the comments or in the live chat how social distancing has been going for you so far. I know we haven't talked in a while, and the last time I uploaded an episode was when everything had kind of first really got serious. I think maybe we had been social distancing for a week or so, maybe a couple of weeks. So just wanted to know how everyone has been dealing with it. Have you picked up any hobbies? Do you feel that it has made things easier for you, or just completely more difficult? Because believe it or not, a lot of people have actually found more success during this time. And I know it sounds crazy because so many people really are suffering. But if you happen to be one of those people who has found success during this time, definitely tell me about it. I'm interested in hearing. So for the past few weeks now, I have been kind of planning out what my official 2020 self-portrait is going to be. And originally I was planning on doing this challenge called the self-portrait challenge, where you have to draw yourself once every day of the week. So 7 different portraits of yourself all together on one surface. And I kind of was going to put my own spin on that and show a bunch of different versions of myself all on one piece. So there was going to be like a regular photo of me just smiling, and there was going to be a drawing of me as a gamer. There was going to be one of me being, the sexy version of myself. There was going to be one where I was being the silly version of myself, and I looked so different in every photo. I just felt like it would be kind of cool to see all the different sides of me and how I'm like such a versatile person, and also get, a self-portrait out of it. But I've actually decided to just take a couple of those photos and do different projects with them. So I'm still kind of thinking of ideas for how I want this year's self-portrait to look. I may even just skip a year. I think I skipped 2018. Yeah, I don't think I have an official 2018 portrait. It is so funny sometimes when I'm recording these episodes for you guys. I know it's called Drawings to Doze Off To, and it's supposed to help the people watching it get to sleep. But oftentimes I feel myself starting to doze off when I'm recording these voiceovers, and I just get so drowsy. I don't know if it's just me listening to my voice or if it's the fact that I just ate. I usually eat right before I record an episode because I'm going to be talking for so long, and talking just takes a lot of my energy. I don't know if it's the fact that it's also raining right now and that's making me drowsy, or all of these things combined are making me drowsy, but I just thought that I would share that with y'all. Like, this show makes me fall asleep. I really love how I drew my lips. They don't look right at the moment. When I work on them more, it's gonna look more like my facial structure. But I think these are my favorite lips that I've ever done in pastel. Because for me with pastel, I feel like I kind of overdo it a lot of times with layers on lips, and then they don't end up looking the way they're supposed to look, and there's already too many layers to try to fix it. I feel like it's hard for me to make them look so soft like this and juicy and full. So yeah, I just love how I made them look. In the end, a lot of you might feel that the portrait doesn't look exactly like me. And I can tell you now that's because the reference photo really doesn't look like me. It does, but it doesn't. Like, you can tell it's me, but the filter and the expression on my face and the glow just makes me look almost not myself. Believe it or not, it is actually extremely hard for me to draw lighter skin tones like my own. Typically, when I am drawing someone with paler skin, I still add too many darker browns or just darker tones in general. and they end up looking like they have bronzer on or just a really good tan. I'm actually going through the same thing right now with the Devin Booker portrait that I'm currently working on. So yeah, I was somehow able to do a good job of like staying true to my own skin tone in this portrait, and I honestly think it's because of how much pink was in the color palette. The skin tone was a lot more pink and blush than it was brown or orange. So I think that might have made it easier for me to stay true to the skin tone, but I keep in mind that that's something I need to work on. I apologize if you guys can hear the rain in the background. I don't think it's that loud enough for you guys to hear, but just in case, I apologize for that. Unless you enjoy the sound of rain. If there are any artists watching, do you find it difficult personally to draw yourself accurately, even if you're great at drawing other people and you do it all the time? Do you find that you have a harder time when it comes to your own face? I know for me, I would say I definitely have an easier time with my own face than with other faces. But I can imagine for some people it would be harder. I hear all the time, you know, when people compliment my self-portraits, a lot of people have said it's really hard to draw your own face. So this is like a real accomplishment. So I'm just interested in knowing how you guys personally feel about it. When I look at this self-portrait and I compare it to the last one I did, which was in 2017, One of the things, there are actually a few things that I like better about this one, and there are also a few things that I like better about the last one. But for this one, I can definitely say that the way I drew my tattoo, flawless, so much better than in the last one. But you know what? In my 2017 self-portrait, in that particular photo that I referenced, I was only referencing the face. I couldn't actually see my shoulders and my chest in that photo, so I had to improvise that part. And that may be part of the reason why it didn't come out as good. This piece was actually the last piece I did before my interlude piece, where I had to draw hands and fingers. And at this time, I had not yet mastered that. I mean, I still haven't mastered it, but I was way worse at doing it back when I painted this piece. And so I think if there was any flaw in this piece, it would have been the hand and also that shoulder. I'm not quite sure why I chose to go with a dark brown instead of following the color palette that I did the rest of the piece in. I don't know. I think I might have just been working late or something and just was out of it, and I did that because that honestly makes no sense. But I will say that in this piece, the shoulder and the arm were like cut in half. They were cut off. Half of it was cut off in the reference photo. So I don't know, maybe that has something to do with it as well, but I don't know. One thing that everyone always says when they see me in person is they comment on how tiny my ears are. And I know my ears are small because it must be true if everybody is saying it, but I look exactly like my dad, and his ears are also tiny. I've noticed that myself, how small his ears are compared to the rest of his face. So, and of course, when I was drawing this, I could clearly see how tiny my own ears are. I remember drawing this piece and filming the time lapse, answering I think 25 questions about myself, or maybe it was 30. I can't remember, but I was like so excited to just tell everybody all these quote unquote interesting facts about myself, and of course nobody really cared. I'm like, get to know the artist. Yay, this will be fun. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is almost about that time. We're coming to the end of this drawing. And if you're still here with me, if you haven't fallen asleep yet, but hopefully you have, or if you're just watching in the middle of the day, this piece is not available for sale, actually. Normally I would link you guys to my shop where you can purchase, but I wanted to keep this one to myself for the obvious reason. I did have problems making prints of this piece. I just didn't feel like the color was ever really right, and so I just decided not to sell prints. But if I do ever get it right, then I'll make them available in the future for anyone who is interested in purchasing them. But for now, I hope you guys enjoyed this piece and this video. I hope it was relaxing, and I really hope that you guys have sweet dreams.